Right then, everybody, so this is your Kensuke Koike tutorial on how to create a hand manipulation in his style. Okay, you can see here that I've got several images of Rihanna which I've printed out, which I'm going to work on. Obviously, if you've not got a printer, don't worry. You could find an image in a magazine or in a newspaper to work from. That's up to you. Okay. Remember as well, if you've only got one image, Kensuke Koike only worked on one photo, and he used to cut it up but didn't add anything and didn't remove anything. He only used what he had there and then arranged it and pasted it onto another background. So if you've only got one image, go for it. You just need to be a little bit more careful. Now, you could do this really simply and just create your Kensuke Koike into lines and cut them up that way. You could do it horizontally. You could even maybe cut them into squares and rearrange them in some way to create that optical illusion. Or you could be a bit more complex. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a section out of Rihanna's face. I saw that one of Kensuke Koike's pieces of work did this. And I'm just going to use a craft knife. Okay, if you've got a craft knife, brilliant. If not, you can use scissors. You just need to be a little bit more careful. I'm just going to carefully cut this. Okay, if I wanted to be even better with this, I would be using a safety ruler just to make sure my edges are nice and sharp and straight. Luckily, I've had a lot of practice. Okay, so there is a little cutout of Rihanna's face, a little window. And you could even just play around with moving this. Maybe moving it to the back, moving it forward. Okay, something like that would work quite nicely. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into strips. So I'm first of all just going to fold it in half. And then cut the second part in half as well. So I'll have 4 little sections. And then I'd like to play around with rearranging these in some sort of order, so they create sort of like an optical illusion of a cyclops eye. So let's play around with maybe moving this one over here. Maybe move the other side of the nose there. That looks quite cool. And then maybe putting the side of the head back in the same place. Okay, so something like that works quite nicely. And then I would stick that down. Now then, that's just using one image. Now, if you've got multiple images, what you might decide to do is that you could actually cut out sections of the other image. So in this case, I'm going to do some circles and add them on and stick them down onto your background photo. Slightly misalign them maybe, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, let's take another one. I'm going to take a smaller circle this time, a little bit of Rihanna's mouth, and maybe slightly move that up. Something along them lines. Okay? Now then, you could play around with putting numerous pieces on there. You could even play around with adding the cutout shapes on top. So that looks quite cool. That works quite nicely there. There's loads of things that you can do. Okay, don't limit yourself. So all you need is photos or images of people, pencils to draw out your sections, scissors, glue, and something to stick it on with. Okay, good luck everybody.